It's time for the X and Y Show with your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y Show.
Oh yeah. Sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y Show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings, and greetings. Welcome to another X and Y Show, and I'm your host, Roosevelt. And it is a Friday night, Friday late night going to Saturday morning. So I hope you are listening right now with your clothes off, laying up with your drinks, lending the ear to yours truly. And just forget about today's troubles, all kind of stuff going on. And just let me have your whole mind and heart for about an hour. Give a little, take a little. Tonight we got a real, relevant subject. I'm going to get on that in a moment. But like I said earlier, a lot's going on in the world. Wow. I mean, from Great Britain leaving the European Union, all of these mass shootings, it seems like, there's no love in the world anymore. So I'm going to be planning an event. I don't know when I'm going to have it, but I'm going to plan an event. It's just show some love. Brings a little love in the world, a little peace, love in the world, and I'm not talking about an orgy or nothing like that, but just something to say, hey, let's love one another. But anyway, I'll be posting stuff about that, when I get further in the planning stages. But I just think the world needs to have more love in it. There's too much trouble, too much turmoil. It's too much, a lot of stuff. But anyway, want to give a shout out and hello to all my gynecologists, OB-GYNs out there. I love you. I love what you're doing, and I think you're the luckiest people on this planet. I love all my gynecologists. And if anything that I can do for you, you just send me an email, and if I can do it, I'll do it. But only thing I ask in return, if I can sit in those couple of those office visits, I don't have to be out in the open. Just put me in the closet or something. That's all. Anyway, tonight's subject is, I would say, a relevant subject, especially in today's time, as we supposedly are moving closer to a more liberal society when it comes to races intertwining with one another, allegedly anyway. I think this subject that I'm going to touch on tonight affects a lot of people. It affects a lot of families, and actually it affects everyone. If you're not married, or even if you are married and maybe your brother or sister or another sibling or something like that does, what we're going to talk about tonight, it would affect you as well. So the subject we're going to talk about tonight affects everyone. Not just single people, not just married people, not just immediate family, but extended families as well. Now, tonight's subject matter is, if you date or marry someone of a different race, would your family truly accept them? If you date or marry someone of a different race, would your family truly accept them? Now, when you talk about dating, a lot of times dating is not that important, I should say. Well, in my opinion, a lot of families wouldn't even tolerate that if they were against interracial get-togethers. They wouldn't even tolerate dating. So I'm saying, though, dating, a lot of times some people would like overlook dating because it's not permanent. You know, it's like, well, she's just having fun. Okay, that's fine. Just as long as she don't marry him. He's just having fun. He's just sowing his oats. You know, as long as he don't marry that girl, you know, have his fun. You know. But marrying someone is more of a lifetime commitment. Well, you know, it's supposed to be anyway. Marrying someone is permanent. It's supposed to be with someone that you plan to be with for the rest of your life, until the days that you grow old and you sitting watching TV together, eating crackers and drinking coffee and playing bingo all day. Marriage is forever, you know. And I want to give a shout out to my parents who were married for 52 years. You know, that was a blessing. I'm glad that we were able to celebrate their 50th anniversary. You know, that's a feat that is not easily obtained these days. So, but how would you feel? Everyone that's listening to the show right now, if you brought home, you know, if you're a black guy, you bring home a white girl, or, you know, not just white, just a Chinese girl or Indian girl, you know, she's not black. Okay. If you're a black woman or you're a white woman, and you bring home a man that is not of your race, do you think that your family would truly accept them if you were to marry them? You know, and I had to ask myself this question. And I'm not talking about just immediate family. I'm talking about extended family. I'm talking about your uncles, your aunts, your cousins, first cousins, second cousins. You know, everybody. You know, and I'm also not talking about work either. This is strictly for family, because work is kind of a different jar. And who cares what they think? you all have to deal with them 8 hours a day, and you don't see them again to the next day. You know, they're not in your lives per se, but it could matter, you know, in a lot of ways. You know, I've heard horror stories about that as well. But tonight we're only going to focus on the families. You know, ask yourself, if you were to marry someone that is of a different race, would your family really, I'm talking about really, accept them as one of the family? Would they say, oh, okay, you married my brother, you're my sister. You married my sister, you're my brother. We're one. You know, and if you're married, you know, and your brother or sister brings home someone of a different race, would you really accept them as being one? Okay, would you really be comfortable around them at family functions, family reunions, birthdays, etc., bar mitzvahs, whatever you're celebrating, would you truly be comfortable around them? I mean, really? I mean, ask yourself, would you really open up to them and they're around, be as like they are of the same race? I mean, they're a different race, but you don't see that. You know, you look past that. Would you be able to do that? Do you think your family will be able to do that? And again, I'm not talking about just immediate family. You know, your mom, dad, sister, brother, your dog. I'm talking about the whole shebang. The you know, your immediate family, her immediate family, or his immediate family, their extended family, and your extended family. It's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. You know, and in a fairy tale type of world, you know, when we answer that question, we be like, oh yeah, my family would be cool with it, yeah. But to be honest with you, in my family per se, I don't know. Now, my immediate family, no. My immediate family, my brother and sister, my dad is no longer with us, but he wouldn't have cared. My mom, same. You know, my immediate family, no, they wouldn't have a problem with if I brung home. That's what I really believe. They wouldn't have a problem if I brung home someone of a different race, just as long as I was happy. I think that's their main concern. However, my extended family, I can't be 100% sure. And I'm not saying that my extended family is bad. I'm not saying that. But I don't know. I just can't be, I can't honestly answer that question and say absolutely, yes, all of my extended family, you know, I'm talking about my mom's side, my dad's side, you know, and their families, you know, because you have first cousins, second cousins, third cousins, fourth, and all that shit. I can't honestly say that all of them would be okay with me marrying someone of a different race. I can't honestly say that all of them would be comfortable around my wife if she's of a different race. Now, I'm only dealing with race tonight. I'm going to do another segment that's a spinoff of this show later that's dealing with religion. You know, if someone is of a different religion, could you truly be with that person? And I think that's, especially in today's world, that is a definitely relevant subject as well. But tonight we're only dealing with race. But getting back to that, I can't be 100%. I can't answer that question. Not honestly, not realistically. You know, I can say what I want to believe. Yes. All of my cousins, all of my first cousins, my second cousins, my aunts, my uncles, everybody would be okay with me marrying someone of a different race. I can say what I want to believe, but would that be realistic? Would that be accurate? I don't know. I really don't know. You know, do you know? Do you know if you was to bring someone that is of a different race, would your family, your immediate family, or your extended family be okay with that? Would they be comfortable? Do you know that for real? Or I'm not talking about how you would want to think it to be, or you wish it to be. I'm talking about how it is. Can you actually say that my family, all of them, would be fine me marrying someone out of my race? I think when you say yes, I don't think you're being really honest. I think you're delusional, because there's no way that you can know that. I mean, yeah, in a perfect world, we would hope that everyone would love and like and be comfortable around your wife that's of a different race. Love and like and be comfortable around your husband that's of a different race. Of course we would want that. That's ideally, the desire of anyone, right? But is that possible? I mean, in my opinion, no, I don't think it's possible. Because now my immediate family, I know. And some of you are saying, well, let me say this. My immediate family, I know that they'll be okay, but my extended family, I don't know. Now, some of you are saying that your immediate family, you don't think will be okay with that. Or some of you are saying that my immediate family will be okay, but my extended family probably wouldn't be, but fuck them, right? They're not important. It's just my immediate family that I have to worry about. Well, I initially thought that. That was my belief initially. I'm talking about years ago when I was younger. But now, I think it is important that your immediate family and your extended family accept your wife of a different race or your husband of a different race. I just think it's very essential for a happy life. Now, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't let that deter me from marrying someone. But I would prefer and I would hope that they would be okay with it, because it'd be a easier life, right? It'd be an easier existence. It'd be an easier set of emotions. An easier life. I mean, you have enough problems. You don't need shit at the home with your family and your extended family and all that. Not at home. And speaking of home, I remember I had a friend, a white guy. He was white. And he was married to a black woman. And, and she was finer than a muff. That girl was fine. Woo! Anyway, and I'm not going to mention his name because he might be listening. And I have a few white friends with black wives, so they wouldn't know who I'm talking about. But anyway, I remember that when he brung her around his family, and I used to go around his family all the time, but I wasn't dating them. We were just friends. We were just boys. So they were all right with me. They knew me. And I would go over there, kick their ass and chess and spades and all that kind of stuff, like I do with everybody. But they knew me. But I noticed, now he had about 3 sisters, and I probably just gave my damn self away, but well, damn. Okay. He had about 3 sisters. All right. And they were, and he had cousins and all of that kind of stuff. So, at family functions, they would get together, say we were around a pool and, or wherever, the patio, whatever, and they'd be around talking about, normal women bullshit that they talk about. But I noticed when he got there and his wife, who's black, went over there where they were sitting, to join the conversation. She was their age. They were all married. Most of them had kids and stuff. So they were of the same type of lifestyle. But the only different thing, she was black. She was black. They were all white. So when she used to come there, when he used to bring her there, and she used to go over there and sit by them, they'd be yapping. And sometimes I would, before I, start drinking and stuff, I would notice stuff like that. So before I, really had my drink on and stuff, I would notice every time that he got to the family functions and she would go over there by his white female family members, they'd be yapping away. How women talk. They talk all that bullshit and talking about everything and anything. But as soon as she go over there, they stop talking. They stop talking. And I was like, why would they stop talking? And you know why they would stop talking? Because they didn't feel comfortable around her. It wasn't because she was a bad person. It wasn't because they didn't dislike her. Or maybe they did, I don't know. But they definitely didn't feel comfortable around her to speak openly about different subject matter. Or any subject matter for that matter. Because when she would come over there, the conversation would end. You hear a pin drop. And I don't know if she noticed. I never asked her because I didn't want to, I don't want to start no, I just want to start nothing, But I know she was a very intelligent woman. Or she is a very intelligent woman. So I know that she noticed when she got around the setting of his white sisters, his cousins, and so forth, and all of a sudden they was talking up something, and all of a sudden all conversations ceased. Did you see that? Did you do that? And she might get a hello, hey girl, and blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, after a while, everybody stopped talking. All of a sudden, people getting up. And then you look around, about 15, 20 minutes later, she's sitting at that table by herself. She's sitting by herself. They have left her there. And I know she had to notice that. I know he had to notice that. And that was his immediate family and some of his extended family. It was obvious that they weren't comfortable around her. They didn't, she was family. They respected her. They spoke, acted cordially. Hey, how you doing? Blah, blah. But they didn't feel comfortable around her. They didn't want to be around her. That had to, I think about her and him. Like I said, I don't know if they noticed it or they had to, though. They're not stupid. But that would really mess with me. You know, and to be honest with you, after a while, I wouldn't want to come to any family functions if that's going to be happening. And that's why I think that even an extended family that is truly being able to accept your mate of a different race is important as well. Because if they're not going to accept your wife or your husband of a different race, it's going to make things very awkward and a very lonely existence. Now, they're not going to say you can't come to family function, you can't come to the family. No. Well, some families won't. Some families actually, no, you can't bring her. You can't bring him. So some families will go that far. But I think most families wouldn't go that far, but they might as well. Because when they get there, they don't treat them like family. They don't treat her like their sister. They don't treat her like the daughter. They don't treat him like the son. They don't treat him like a brother. They're different. And even though they're married to their brother or sister or cousin, you know, or whatever the case may be, they still don't quite accept that person. And that's a problem. Could you imagine if you are married to someone of a different race and you were at a family function? And I've seen this many times. I'm not just speaking out of the air. I see this sometimes. If you were married, let's say if you were a white guy married to a black woman and your family started saying the N-word, how would you feel? How do you think your wife would feel? And it's not just black and white. How would you feel if your wife or husband was Asian person or a Jewish person, or a white person, I mean, you've been around your family, you know them. You've been around your extended family, sometimes words fly freely. And sometimes they forget who's sitting there, right? Those niggers are at it again. I can't stand all those niggers. Those spics, all they do is just get free stuff. Those damn spics, I wish they'd go somewhere. Those damn kikes, they don't do nothing but keep all their money and don't give it to anybody. They're so cheap. Those damn kikes, they're going to just ruin everything. I can't stand those damn crackers. I can't stand a cracker. You heard your family. You know them. A lot of families actually use these racial slurs. Niggers, crackers, kikes, spics, chinks. A lot of your families use these words. You heard them. You heard them use these words. So you know how they feel. If you would bring home someone of a different race, you know. So would you feel comfortable bringing your husband or your wife who's of a different race around them and take a chance on them getting their feelings hurt and you having to put your foot up their ass, whatever the case may be? Would you want that? That's trouble. That's not a relaxing situation. That's not a easygoing existence. That's not a good life. That's not a good thing. It's one thing to worry about all that bullshit out in the world with these racist bastards out there, and at work or in Subway or restaurants, looking, staring, and all that kind of stuff. Out in the world, you expect those assholes to act like that, but your family, that's one place you expect, and one group of people that you expect to be around and not have to worry about all that bullshit. This is the person I love. This is the person that I married. You love me, accept her. That's the way it is, right? That's the way it should be. But you know, and I know, that's not the way it is. Anyway, I'm going to take a little break. And I'm going to come back and kind of elaborate more on why it is important for your family to accept your mate of a different race. A lot of you are saying out there, well, if my immediate family or extended family can't accept who I love, fuck them. Right? I know a lot of you are saying that out there. I don't need them. But you do. You do need them. And like I said, I'm not saying that if my immediate family would be fine with it, but if my extended family is not fine with it, it wouldn't deter me, but it would really mess with me. Like, damn. Why can't we all just get along? But anyway, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to come back and talk about this subject more. It is a very relevant subject that I think everyone has dealt with in some form or another, or will deal with. So, it's something that everyone can definitely relate to. So, anyway, I'm going to take a little break and I shall return and we shall continue our conversation on if you date or marry someone of a different race, would your family truly accept them? You're listening to the X and Y Show. I'm your host, Roosevelt. And I'll be back in about 4.5.
Welcome back to the X and Y Show. Hope you're enjoying tonight's episode. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Google, Instagram, and Tumblr. Well, alright. Back to our real cute teddy bear of a host, Roosevelt.
And welcome back to the X and Y Show. I'm your host, Roosevelt. Hope you're enjoying the music. It's by indie music, relaxing music. I try to support my indie folks. For those of you who are listening out there and you're an indie musician, send me some music. I'll try to support you and get you out there, and hopefully one day you'll be big and then you remember who helped. No, I'm just kidding. But I love to support indie music because it's different, and especially good music. So that was done by Chris Collins. All of my music is done by Chris Collins. So check Chris Collins out. That's who I get all my indie music from for the X and Y Show. Before I went on break, I was talking about, we had started the subject of tonight. If you date or marry someone of a different race, would your family truly accept them? And I gave you some scenarios and things that I've seen from those different life situations of someone being of a different race and being exposed to a family that didn't treat them well. And before I went on break, I was saying that, how would you feel if your wife or husband had to hear, how your husband, how your family, you know them, you know how they are, and you know how they feel about races and stuff like that. So, if you have your husband or wife around and they're talking all these racial slurs, niggas, crackers, kikes, spicks, chinks, and all this kind of stuff. But then they tell hey, niggers are just lazy. I think niggers are always. But I'm not talking about you, Leo. I'm not talking about you. I can't. Man, these old crackers, man, they always doing something. But I ain't talking about you, Barbara. No, you all right. These damn chinks, they come in the country and they just set up all these buffets everywhere, and they never clean their restaurant. But I'm not talking about you, baby. You okay? What kind of bullshit is that? You saying all, your family saying all these racial slurs, but then they tell your wife or your husband, no, I'm talking, not you. You all right. Come on. You wouldn't want, if you truly love that person, you wouldn't want them to hear that shit. So, you won't want your kids. What about if you start having kids? You wouldn't want them to hear that shit. So then again, it goes back to, is it important for your family to accept them? I think it is. It would be better, yes. But I don't think it's important. Like I said, it wouldn't deter me. If I was in love with someone and she was of a different race, then, like I said, I'm lucky to know that my immediate family wouldn't have a problem with it. My extended family, I don't know. And I'm not saying that my extended family is racist. I'm just saying that I just don't know. I don't know how a lot of my cousins feel about that. I don't know how a lot of my aunts and uncles feel about that. I would hope that they would be okay with it, but I just don't know. Some of them I do. I guess it matters how close you are to some of them. And you kind of have a feel, but I mean, there's no way you could know. I just don't think it is. Because it's not like you're spending a lot of time around your extended family, you know, on your father's side, your mother's side. You know, you have certain key memories that you're closer to, but you don't spend a lot of time, all of them. You can't. So there's no way you can know that. So the only way you can answer that question is how you would think, how you would want it to be. But is it really that way? Probably not. Probably not. I'm sure I have races in my family. Matter of fact, I know of a couple. But everyone has races in their family. I think that's a more real approach. You know, more real than for you to say there's no races in my family. That's bullshit. I think it's more realistic of you to say, yeah, I'm sure there's some races in my family. And I would acknowledge that. I know there's some races in my family. You know, but going back to the question, is it important for your extended family to accept your mate of a different race? You know, like I said earlier, a lot of you are saying, well, if my immediate family accept them, you know, my extended family, fuck them. I'm not worrying about them. I don't see them motherfuckers every day. Fuck them. That's what a lot of you are saying. But it doesn't matter if you see them every day. You know, what about family functions? You know, family reunions. You know, family birthdays. Family showers, weddings. It's family functions. What about those type of things? And now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes, you know, even though they really don't like your husband or your wife because he was a different race, they still, well, we got to invite him. He is married to our family, to our, you know, cousin or nephew, whatever the case may be. He is married to us, so we got to invite him. You know, we don't want to be disrespectful. But then when you get there, they don't treat you like family. So ultimately, they really are being disrespectful, because when you get to the family function, they don't treat you like family. You're like an outsider. I think it's important. I think it's very important. It's important, obviously, for your immediate family to accept your mate of a different race. And I think it's not as important, but very important for your extended family as well. You need family. You need your family. You need your family's love. You need their encouragement. You need them to show you support. You need their communication. You need them to have your back. In today's world, you need all the support you can get. You need your family. So I think it's very important, because you don't want to disenfranchise your extended family purposely. But like I said, it wouldn't deter me if my extended family was to be against me marrying someone of a different race. It wouldn't deter me. But I would really hope that they would be, or most of them, I know all of them are not going to be okay with it. I think that's dreaming again. But it would really please me if most of them was comfortable with it. Because if they're comfortable with it, then when you go to those family reunions, when you go to those birthdays, when you go to those family showers, when you go to those family bar mitzvahs, when you go to those family Christmas functions, when you go to anything that's family, then you feel like family. Your wife of a different race feels like she's family. Your husband of a different race feels like he's family. It's better like that, isn't it? Of course, like I said, some of you don't care if your immediate family accept it or not. Fuck them too. Some of you say, it is what it is. And that's even a worse scenario because in essence, beside your family not accepting them, your mate from different race, and if her family is not accepting you, then really you two are alone. You two are alone. Your family is alone. Your kids, if you have kids growing up, they don't have any interaction with their cousins on their father's side. They don't have any interactions with their cousins on their mother's side. They don't know them. They don't know their grandparents. They don't know their uncles. They don't know their aunts. They don't know anyone but those silly ass friends that they have at school. You don't have anyone. That's a lonely existence. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people are going through today. A lonely existence, because they married someone outside of their race. They have sacrificed so much with their family. You marry that nigga, you're no longer my daughter. I come from the great state of Mississippi, and I don't do no interracial relationships or marriages. You marry that cracker, you ain't my son no more. You marry that kike, you're no longer in the will. I don't love you anymore. Stay out of my house. Don't bring that chink around here, boy. What kind of shit is that to say to your son? What kind of shit is that to say to your daughter? But a lot of you are going through that. A lot of you have sacrificed the ultimate for that person of a different race, haven't you? When you married that person, your family utterly turned their back on you. Because they answered the question, would your family accept them? They answered it, no. Some, your immediate family and extended family, that's a very bad situation there. Some, your immediate family is okay with it, but your extended family, a lot of them, no. You can live with that one a little better, of course, but the perfect scenario is your immediate family is okay, and most of your extended family being okay with it. Because it's not going to be all. That's a fairy tale. But if your immediate family was okay and most of your extended family was okay, I think that's good. And I'm talking about not being fake. I'm talking about being genuine. Okay. Really treating your mate, your husband, your wife of a different race like they are a person. Like they are a human being. Looking past the color of their skin. Like they are truly family. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, I'm going to take a little short break and I'm going to come back and conclude tonight's episode and give you a little brief talking about what we're going to talk about the next show. But this show kind of hit me a little bit. I mean, you know, because it made me think about a lot of things as far as, you know, interracial relationships go, and what people that is currently in the interracial relationships or interracial marriages, what they actually go through, you know, and it's not easy. It's an everyday, when you step out of the house, it's hard enough as it is, because there's a lot of silly ass people out there in this world, and it's hard enough as it is, but when you go out and you're quote unquote different, your wife doesn't look like you, you know, your husband doesn't look like you, you know, your children are mixed, you know, you got all these silly people staring and whispering. It's hard enough as it is out there in the world. But then when you have to come and be around family that treats you in the same manner, and that has to affect anyone. That's a lot of sacrifice that a lot of people are experiencing on a daily basis. You know, you take life for granted so much that, you know, I don't have to deal with that problem with it. You know, when you look at someone in an interracial relationship or marriage particularly, because that's more of a permanent thing. I think, you know, a lot of times, more times, you know, 9 times out of 10, they're going through hell. Because it's not just the outward society that they have to deal with. Sometimes they actually have to deal with family that's treating them in a bad manner. Family, blood. So anyway, I just, you know, this episode made me think about a lot of things. You know, what I would go through if I was to marry a white woman or an Asian woman or a Jewish woman. What I would go through if I was to do that. You know. Now, like I said before, I don't give a damn what people think or what my extended family think. Like I said, my immediate family would be okay with it, but my extended family, you know, I don't know. But I really wouldn't give a damn. But I would hope that they would be okay with it. It just make things better. You don't need any more problems. There's enough problems in the world. You don't need any more, especially coming from family. But anyway, I'm going to take a little short break, and I shall return and conclude tonight's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. You're listening to the X and Y Show, and I'm your host, Roosevelt, and I shall return in about 4.5.
Welcome back to the X and Y Show. Hope you're enjoying tonight's episode. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Google, Instagram, and Tumblr. Well, alright. Back to our real cute teddy bear of a host, Roosevelt.
And welcome back to the X and Y Show. You're listening to the X and Y Show. I'm your host, Roosevelt, and tonight we talked about if you date or marry someone of a different race, would your family truly accept them? And I gave, talked about, I asked you the question, would your family truly accept them? And I wasn't just talking about immediate family, I'm talking about extended family as well. So they're family. And some of you answered the question, in your mind or out loud or whatever you did. And some of you, unfortunately, said, no, my immediate family would not be okay with it. My extended family would not be okay with it. That's the worst scenario that you can have. If your immediate family, your mother, your father, your sisters, and your brothers are not okay, that's very difficult, let alone your extended family, your uncles and so forth, your aunts, cousins. But if your immediate family is not okay with it, that's very hard. It's not impossible, but that's very hard. And ultimately very lonely, a lonely life. You don't have family. And God forbid if it's that way on both sides. Hopefully it's not that way on both sides. Hopefully her family or his family is okay with it. And that way it's not a total mess. That's what, if it's that way on both sides, oh my goodness. But anyway, some of you have answered the question. My immediate family would not be okay with it. Extended family would not be okay with it. Some of you said my immediate family would be okay with it. My extended family would not be okay with it, or maybe be okay with it. I'm not sure. I think I fall in that category. I'm pretty sure that my immediate family would be okay with it. If I was to bring home someone of a different race, my sister would be okay with it. My brother would be okay with it. My mother would be okay with it. My dad, if he was still with us, would definitely be okay with it. Now, my extended family, I don't know. But I think a realistic answer would be a lot of them would be okay, but a lot of them wouldn't. I'm being real. That's just the way it is. And I'm sure a lot of families are like that. And like I said earlier, the fairy tale answer would be, oh no, my immediate family would be okay, and my extended family would be okay. Everybody loves my wife. Everybody loves my husband of a different race. You know that's bullshit. That's not real. That's not the way it is. It's a fairy tale. I have that much common sense to know that everyone in my extended family is not going to like my wife of a different race or be comfortable around her to speak with her freely. I know that. But anyway, it's just something I think that, this subject I don't think, like I said, it wouldn't deter me from marrying someone who I love of a different race. But wouldn't it be much better if more people in your family truly accepted that person? It'd be a better life, right? Because you need family. You don't need to have no association with your family. You need family. You need their support. You need their back. You need them to have your back. You need their encouragement. You need their communication. You need their love. You don't need them to outcast you and your family, your wife and your kids. Everybody's alone. Anyway, think about that. If you're single right now, if you're a woman or you're a man, whatever you are, and you marry a woman that's of a different race, or you marry a man that's of a different race, how would your family feel about that? A lot of you I know are saying, my family's not marrying them. So fuck them. I don't care what they think. Yeah, you can say that. But you shouldn't say that. Because you need family. And I'm not saying that you should allow your family to stop you from marrying someone you love just because they're of a different race. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying, do you actually know how your family would accept that? And are you ready to accept how they will feel? If they wouldn't accept it? Are you ready to live with that for the rest of your life? Because that's what it is, right? To death do us part. Are you ready to live with that for the rest of your life? Are you ready for your kids to live with that for the rest of their lives? That's all I'm saying. So if you're single, think about it. Would your family truly accept someone that you get with, a woman of a different race or a man of a different race? Would they truly accept them? Be comfortable around them. Ask yourself, even if you're married, and you have a brother and a sister, if your sister or your brother marries someone of a different race, or you have a son or a daughter that marries someone of a different race, would you accept them? Truly accept them? That's my daughter-in-law, but she's like a daughter to me. That's my son-in-law, but he's like a son to me. That's my brother-in-law, but he's a brother. That's my sister-in-law, but she's a sister to me. And then your extended family, of course. Yeah, she's married to my first cousin. I love her like a sister. That would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. I really do, and I hope it made you think. Because that's what we need to do in today's world, just think more. And I think if we thought a lot of things out more, then a lot of less bullshit would exist. But that's just my opinion. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Now, next week, on Tuesday, the episode will be, why do women allow their friends to influence their relationships or marriages? Now, like I know, if you've ever, if you had any interactions with women, you have to deal with their friends and best friends and BFFs and all that shit as well. It's almost like you dating them. And a lot of women allow their friends to have interactions in their marriages and relationships. Well, Carrie said that. Well, Lucy said that she would never go through that. Hey, I remember my dad used to sometimes get so angry with my mother because she would quote what her friend he would say stuff, I don't give a damn what they, I don't know why women allow that or why they do that, because most of their friends are in no condition, to be given any advice on relationships, let alone marriages, but women allow them to do that. I don't know why, but anyway, we're going to try to get to the bottom of that on the next episode next week. You've been listening to the X and Y Show. I'm your host, Roosevelt. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. I have an Instagram page. Follow me on all of them. Follow me on my Spreaker. Follow me on iTunes. And I'm now on TuneIn Radio as well. So I'm, working on other venues. TuneIn is new. I just got to add it to iTunes and Stitcher. And I'm also, I just got added on TuneIn. So I'm, increasing my ways for you to access the X and Y Show. Hopefully that you'll be able to access at least one of them. And tell your friends about me. And be sure to tweet me sometimes and just say, give me some constructive criticism, or just say hello. Just say hi sometimes, and that'll be great as well. I love you all, and I hope that you continue to listen to the show, and I hope you continue to enjoy it. And if you're not enjoying it, then shoot me an email and tell me why. Maybe I can make a little change. Maybe I won't. But anyway, you've just listened to the X and Y Show, and I'm your host, Roosevelt, and I will see you Tuesday. Be sure to be here. Love you all. Good night.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on. Or not.